Restoring a luxury car like the BMW X7 is more than just a mechanical project, it's a journey that blends passion, patience, skill, and a vision to bring back the glory of an automobile that once defined elegance. The BMW X7, with its bold design, refined performance, and commanding presence, stands as one of the finest luxury SUVs in the world. But when a vehicle like this falls into neglect, loses its shine, and faces years of dust, scratches, and mechanical issues, the challenge to restore it becomes both exciting and demanding. The full car restoration process is not only about fixing broken parts but also about reviving its original condition and giving it a new life. Let's take a deep dive into the complete transformation journey of a BMW X7, step by step, exploring what it truly takes to restore such a masterpiece. The story of this BMW X7 begins with its discovery. Parked for months, covered in layers of dirt and dust, its once luxurious charm had faded. The first impression made it look like just another abandoned car, but beneath the surface was a German-engineered beast waiting to roar again. The exterior paint had dulled, rims were corroded, headlights were yellowed, and the interior had lost its rich aroma of leather, replaced with a musty smell of time. On the mechanical side, the engine struggled to even start, the suspension had collapsed, and the electronics were malfunctioning. This wasn't just a car, it was a project that needed dedication, knowledge, and creativity to bring it back to factory condition. The restoration journey always begins with a detailed inspection. Before lifting a single tool, every inch of the BMW X7 was checked, paint thickness measured, dents located, underbody examined, and diagnostic scans run to identify hidden electronic and engine-related issues. This step is like drawing a map for the restoration, so nothing is left unaddressed. Once the checklist was made, the actual transformation process started, with the first stage being a complete disassembly. The car was carefully stripped down, from its wheels to the interior panels, headlights, bumpers, and seats. Every component was removed so it could either be repaired, refurbished, or replaced with genuine BMW parts. The exterior demanded attention first. The dull paint was sanded and corrected through multi-stage polishing, but in areas where scratches went too deep, panels were repainted using factory-grade color matched to the original shade. The signature kidney grille was restored to its chrome brilliance, and the alloy wheels were stripped, repaired, and powder-coated to look brand new. Headlights and taillights were polished, restoring their crystal-clear finish, and a ceramic coating was applied over the paint to protect it from future wear while enhancing its mirror-like shine. By the time this stage was done, the BMW X7's presence was already coming back to life, glowing as if it had just rolled out of the showroom. Moving inside, the cabin of the X7 required a delicate yet thorough approach. The leather seats were deep cleaned, reconditioned, and in some areas, reupholstered to restore their softness and luxurious feel. The dashboard, wood trims, and ambient lighting system were repaired and polished. The carpets were removed, washed, and refitted, while the sound system was tested and upgraded with OEM parts where necessary. The interior transformation was perhaps the most satisfying step, because this is where the true comfort of a BMW X7 is felt. From the driver's seat to the third row, every detail was checked to ensure it delivered the same premium experience as a brand new model. Of course, restoring a BMW isn't complete without addressing its powerhouse, the engine. The X7 came with years of neglect, so the first step was to remove sludge, carbon deposits, and dirt buildup. The engine was dismantled, cleaned, and key components like spark plugs, timing chains, filters, and belts were replaced. The turbochargers were inspected, and the cooling system was flushed and refilled with high-quality fluids. Once reassembled, the engine roared back to life with the smoothness expected from a BMW inline-6 or V8, depending on the model variant. Paired with transmission servicing, the car's performance was restored, ensuring it could once again deliver the power and refinement BMW drivers love. Suspension and braking systems were the next priority. After years of standing idle, air suspension components had failed and needed replacement. Shock absorbers, bushings, and control arms were carefully examined, with worn-out parts swapped for brand new ones. The braking system was upgraded with new discs, pads, and fluid, ensuring safety and precision handling. Wheels were aligned and balanced, giving the X7 the stability and comfort of a luxury SUV. By the time the mechanical restoration was complete, the BMW wasn't just functional again, it was as reliable as the day it first hit the road. Electronics, often the trickiest part of modern cars, were not ignored. The iDrive infotainment system was updated, faulty sensors were replaced, and the digital dashboard was recalibrated. From adaptive cruise control to parking cameras, every function was tested and fixed, making sure the X7's advanced features worked flawlessly. These details may seem small, but they play a big role in delivering the ultimate BMW driving experience. Finally, the finishing touches brought the restoration together. The car was detailed inside and out, with every corner cleaned and polished. A new set of BMW badges was installed, symbolizing the car's rebirth. Standing under the lights, the X7 looked as stunning as the day it was first delivered to its owner, bold, elegant, and commanding. The transformation was complete, but more than that, it was proof that with effort and vision, even a neglected luxury SUV can return to its glory. Restoring a BMW X7 is more than fixing a car, it's preserving a piece of engineering excellence. Every step of the process, from sanding the paint to tuning the engine, tells a story of patience, dedication, and passion. It's not just about resale value or aesthetics, it's about bringing back the soul of a machine that was built to impress. For car enthusiasts, restorations like this remind us that no car is ever truly lost, only waiting for the right hands to bring it back to life. The beauty of such a project lies in its transformation. At the beginning, the BMW X7 seemed like a forgotten piece of metal, dull and lifeless. But by the end, it stood tall once again, a statement of luxury and power. Watching it go through each stage, from dust to shine, from broken to perfect, is like witnessing a miracle of craftsmanship. And when the engine hums smoothly, the wheels glide effortlessly, and the interior glows with comfort, the reward is priceless. This journey shows that restoration is more than work, it's an art. Each car has its story, and the BMW X7's story is about resilience, revival, and pride. Bringing it back to its original condition was not just a technical achievement but also an emotional one. It's proof that with skill and passion, even the most neglected machines can find a new beginning. Every restoration project has its own unique challenges, and the BMW X7 was no exception. The deeper we went into the process, the more hidden problems we uncovered. One of the biggest issues was rust, something that can silently damage even the most expensive cars if they sit unused for years. The underbody showed signs of corrosion around the suspension mounts, exhaust system, and brake lines. Tackling rust is never easy, but it's crucial for long-term safety and reliability. Each affected part was carefully treated, rust was ground down, and protective coatings were applied. In areas where the damage was too severe, new parts were sourced directly from BMW's catalog, ensuring factory-spec replacements. This step alone added weeks to the project, but skipping it would have compromised the SUV's integrity. Another major challenge was sourcing original parts. Unlike common vehicles, luxury SUVs like the BMW X7 use specialized components that aren't always easy to find. From the panoramic sunroof mechanism to adaptive headlight modules, many parts had to be ordered internationally. Waiting for deliveries tested patience, but each arrival felt like a small victory in the larger mission. This part of the journey highlighted the importance of authenticity in restorations. Using cheap aftermarket replacements may have been faster, but only genuine BMW parts could guarantee the true driving feel and longevity of the X7. While the mechanical and structural restoration consumed much time, equal effort went into perfecting the aesthetics. One of the standout moments was working on the paint job. Modern BMWs often use multi-layer pearl or metallic finishes, and matching that shine is both an art and science. The team spent hours blending, polishing, and correcting every panel until the paint reflected light with the same depth as a showroom model. To add extra protection, a graphene-based coating was applied, a step above ceramic, giving the SUV long-lasting gloss and resistance against scratches, dust, and UV rays. Inside the cabin, one of the most emotional transformations was the steering wheel. The original leather was cracked and worn out, a reminder of countless drives and years of neglect. Instead of simply replacing it, the steering wheel was rewrapped in high-quality BMW leather, preserving its original form while restoring its feel. Similarly, the headliner was replaced, as moisture damage had stained the fabric. Ambient lighting, one of the X7's signature luxuries, was reprogrammed to bring back its soothing glow at night. When the interior lights danced across the cabin for the first time after restoration, it felt like the car itself was breathing again. Technology was another battlefield. Modern luxury vehicles are heavily dependent on electronics, and the BMW X7 was no different. Faulty sensors, outdated software, and corrupted control modules plagued the SUV. A complete reprogramming of the ECU, gearbox, and iDrive system was necessary. Hours were spent running diagnostic tools, updating firmware, and syncing the system with new hardware components. The moment everything clicked into place, and the large infotainment screen lit up with the signature BMW interface, it felt like a rebirth. From navigation to parking assist, every function now responded with precision. The test drive was perhaps the most exciting chapter of this restoration journey. After months of hard work, the BMW X7 finally rolled out of the workshop for its first spin. The engine purred smoothly, the gearbox shifted seamlessly, and the suspension absorbed bumps effortlessly. Driving it again was a reminder of why BMW engineers designed this vehicle in the first place, to combine performance, luxury, and versatility in one commanding package. The air suspension floated over rough patches, the steering was sharp and responsive, and the cabin silence was once again impeccable. The roar of the restored engine wasn't just noise, it was the sound of victory. But restoration isn't just about mechanics and aesthetics, it's also about emotion. Cars carry memories. Perhaps this BMW X7 had once carried families on vacations, executives to meetings, or friends on late-night drives. Over time, it had been forgotten, left to fade in a corner, but bringing it back was like giving those memories a second chance. Standing next to it after the restoration, there was a sense of pride, not just because the car looked brand new, but because it had been saved from fading into nothingness. The final reveal was unforgettable. The BMW X7, once dull and lifeless, now stood under the lights, gleaming in perfection. Its bold stance, massive grille, and flawless paint radiated authority. The cabin smelled fresh, the leather shined softly, and the ambient lights gave it a futuristic aura. Friends, enthusiasts, and car lovers who saw the transformation couldn't believe it was the same vehicle. The before and after pictures told a story words could barely capture. It was more than a restoration, it was a resurrection. Looking back, the entire process was a mix of patience, struggle, and triumph. From battling rust to perfecting software, from sourcing rare parts to reconditioning interiors, each step was a lesson. Restoring a BMW X7 isn't for the faint-hearted, it requires resources, skills, and above all, passion. But when you see the final result, every drop of sweat and every hour spent becomes worth it. This restoration also teaches something larger than cars. It's a reminder that with dedication, even something that looks lost can be brought back. Whether it's a machine, a dream, or even a moment in life, with the right effort, everything can shine again. The BMW X7 stands as proof of that belief, a forgotten luxury SUV reborn to rule the roads once more. For car enthusiasts, seeing such a restoration is inspiring. It motivates them to take on their own projects, to not give up on cars that look beyond saving. It also sparks appreciation for the engineering behind these machines. The BMW X7 isn't just a mode of transport, it's a masterpiece of design, and preserving it through restoration is like preserving art. In the end, this project wasn't just about restoring a car. It was about telling a story, the story of a machine that refused to be forgotten. From dust to shine, from broken to beautiful, the BMW X7's journey is a testament to what passion and craftsmanship can achieve. And as it drives off into the future, gleaming like new, it carries with it a story that will inspire many more restorations to come.